By the age of 7, Dana Plato had been in well over 100 TV commercials. At the age of 11, she made a cameo appearance on the television show The $6 Million Man. And by the age of 13, she was starring as Sandra Falor in the horror movie Exorcist 2, but she is best known as playing Kimberly Drummond on the hit TV sitcom Diff'rent Strokes. Plato played on Diff'rent Strokes from 1978 up until 1984 when she was written out of the TV show for getting pregnant by her then rock star boyfriend Lanny Lambert. Together, they had one child. After leaving Diff'rent Strokes, Plato attempted to establish herself as a serious actress but found it difficult to achieve success. She had breast implants and modeled for a June 1989 Playboy pictorial, but her career remained stagnant. Consequently, she started taking roles in such B-movies as Bikini Beach Race and Lethal Cowboy. Also in 1992, Plato starred in the video game Night Trap, becoming one of the first celebrities to appear in a video game. As her life began spiraling out of control, along with a drug addiction, legal issues started swarming Dana Plato's life. In February 28th of 1991, she entered a video store, produced a pellet gun, and demanded the money in the register. Plato was quickly arrested, booked into Clark County Detention Center, and was held in lieu of $13,000 bail, which Las Vegas entertainer Wayne Newton posted on her behalf. She was later sentenced to 5 years probation for the robbery. In January of 1992, she was arrested again, this time for forging a prescription for diazepam. She served 30 days in jail for violating the terms of her probation and immediately entered a drug rehabilitation program. On May 7, 1999, the day before she died, Plato appeared on The Howard Stern Show. She spoke about her life, discussing her financial problems and past run-ins with the law. She admitted to being a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, but claimed she had been sober for more than 10 years at that point. She was not using any more drugs, she claimed, with the exception of prescribed painkillers due to the recent extraction of her wisdom teeth. Many callers to the show insulted her and questioned her sobriety, which angered and provoked the defiant Plato, who offered to take a drug test on the air, which she never did. On May 8, 1999, Plato and her boyfriend Robert Menchaca were returning to California and stopped at Menchaca's mother's home in Moore, Oklahoma for a Mother's Day visit. Later on during the visit, Plato said she felt unwell and took a few doses of hydrocodone, a painkiller, along with a muscle relaxant called Soma, and went to lie down inside her Winnebago motorhome with Menchaca, which was parked outside the house. Upon walking up, Menchaca and their family discovered Plato had died in her sleep, which they later found out was due to an accidental overdose, but was later ruled non-accidental based on Plato's long history of drug abuse.
And here we are. We are at 6190 West Flamingo Road in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Thrifty Deluxe Cleaners, formerly known as Al Phillips. This is the place where Dana Plato used to work at. And the working man in me says, hey, a job is a job at the end of the day. It doesn't matter where you work as long as you're making an honest buck. However, the other side about it is a woman with that much talent and good looks should not be working at a place like this. Very, very sad to say the least. So now we're going to take another trip down the street right here. We're going to go visit the apartment where she used to live. This here is the Lakeside Village shopping complex over on the corner of Durango and Sahara. This is where the video store used to be, where Dana Plato robbed it on February 28, 1991. Now, according to the articles online, she literally lived behind the video store. Now, back then, the name of the complex that she lived in was called the Anchor Village 2 apartment complex. This one is no longer named that. However, on the other side of this apartment complex is another apartment complex that used to be called the Anchor Village apartment complex. Oftentimes in Las Vegas, people that own these apartment complexes, they either sell them or they turn them into condos. So a name on an apartment complex here is going to be gone very, very quickly. So I suspect that Dana Plato used to live in these very apartment buildings right behind this wall. Now, to find the exact video store is going to be not impossible, but I was unable to find exactly where it was. Of course, you very rarely see video stores around anymore. However, after the video store went out of business, it was later taken over by a company called the Nevada Theater Company. However, they also left this complex, so there is no markings on any of these buildings where I can see where an old sign used to be, where I could kind of see the remnants of the lettering. However, on that day, February 28, 1991, Dana Plato came in wearing nothing but sunglasses and a hat. And a very ridiculous thing that she did. Prior to the robbery, about 15 minutes before, the manager of the complex where she lived with her boyfriend, who she described her and her boyfriend as, quote, very, very nice people, had asked the manager if it was possible that she can get a job at the complex picking up trash. And she told her that they had just hired somebody, so they were currently no longer hiring. And later she walked around the wall, came into, I suspect, one of these business fronts right here, and pulled out a pellet gun and robbed the video store clerk of about $160. Now, the clerk knew who she was, and she's looking at Dana Plato like, is this woman serious? So as soon as she gives her the money, she takes off. She calls the police and says, hey, I just been robbed by the girl that used to play on Diff'rent Strokes. The police came to do an initial investigation, and Dana Plato came back here because she dropped her sunglasses. So the police seen her and they arrested her. She later was bailed out by Wayne Newton, Mr. Las Vegas himself. And she got into a little bit of more trouble with the law again, but she basically kept herself out of trouble with the law. A truly tragic case, to say the least, of, you know, one of Hollywood's most recognizable television stars. When I was a little kid, I used to watch Diff'rent Strokes all the time, and I had a crush on Kimberly Drummond. And to see Dana Plato go out like that, very sad to say the least. And it just goes to show you what drugs can do to somebody. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know you could have watched other Dana Plato videos, because people do oftentimes videos like this in the comfort of their own home. However, I try to separate myself from the masses by actually going to the locations of where these events, these crimes, these things occurred. Las Vegas is a city that, if you come here with any bad habits that you brought with you from other places, will truly exacerbate those bad habits and eat you alive. Anyways, Lamont at large, I am signing out. I will catch up with you on the next vlog. God bless and peace out.